If you haven't learned by now, we have a very strong heritage here in Louisiana. From music to food to the way of life down here, Louisiana is special. Unfortunately, this way of life is increasingly threatened by environmental deterioration and the loss of generational culture. In our final episode of the season, we'll meet with some folks who have been dedicating their lives to preserving these traditions, these places, and this way of life. From slow-cooked pig stomachs and hand-carved pirogues, to front porch French music and alligator sauce piquant, this episode serves as a thank you to all the folks putting in the work. Shoot straight and come hungry, my friends. My name is Chef Jean-Paul Bourgeois, and this is Duck Camp Dinners.
Oh boy, comme ça.
If it don't bleed, then it ain't alive. Another shiny thing for the crows to find. If it don't bleed, ain't worth listening to. I smell dead thing, funkier than you. If it don't bleed, then it ain't alive. Another shiny thing for the crows to find. If it don't bleed, ain't worth listening to. I smell dead things, funkier than you. Ooh, doggy.
I've always been motivated by talking with the elderly people, seeing how they used to kill ducks the old way, how they made things the old way. I've always been obsessed with no power tools. I grew up in a little town called Hesma. It's a little potato farming community, probably 90% French. We're all French people. Now, we're not considered Cajuns, even though I have traces of Cajun, but we consider Creoles. Creoles is people that come direct from France to Louisiana, and then they have their families, and so we consider Creoles. I get the enjoyment of hunting like my ancestors did, versus going by a new automatic, up-to-date clothes. I'm not about that. So I make those dugout pirogues. That's an old tradition that goes to the 1700s. And the French learned that from the Indians. But there's only 2 people in Louisiana doing that right now. I'm one, and I'm just teaching a young man, passing that heritage down. And I'm so proud because he's young enough to keep passing it on. These old hunters had their way of hunting that they was taught. They passed away with a story, or a way they hunted. And now I see, I know about it, but it's lost forever. If that young man wouldn't have come and asked me how to make a boat, that's over with. There's nobody to learn from me. And I think it's a very important thing to keep going, because that's where we come from. That's our culture.
All right, so we're about 15 minutes south of Marksville right now, actually just passing over the Red River, heading to a guy by the name of Dale Bordelon. If you haven't heard of Dale Bordelon through Instagram or Facebook, you're about to get to know him really well. I consider him to be a legend of Louisiana history and Louisiana hunting. He does a lot of things in the old style of Louisiana culture, and I cannot wait to spend some time with him at his camp tonight and in the duck blind and duck woods tomorrow morning. We got a couple minutes left till we get to Dale's and see what he's got cooking up.
That's my brother, Johnny.
All right.
You met Johnny?
I did.
That's my oldest brother.
I like this little joint. It's nice.
You're standing in the original camp that was built in the 40s. Our state representative had built this for him to duck hunt. That's our mother standing in the picture right here, but that's what it looked like when we got here. And we kept the original camp, that original part, and built onto it and added to it.
You want to start this supper off and get it low? Oh, camp dinners. We're gonna have a camp dinner tonight. C'est joli oignon, yo. We're cooking a pig stomach. We call that a gog, G-O-G. Here. Johnny?
That's correct.
You're supposed to wash it out with baking soda and vinegar, like soak it, scrape it, and they stuff it with ground pork meat. It's like a big sausage, basically. It's very good eating. We're going to demonstrate that tonight. When you eat a gog, that's a big occasion, buddy. We're cooking a pig stomach. When you put this in the grease, it's gonna swell. So I punch holes in it. You punch holes in it to relieve the pressure. You can take it, make your gravy. Lay that in there and stick it in the oven for 2 hours on 350. Then take the lid off and broil it. I've done that plenty of times. This is going to take longer, but you frying it down the skin, which gives it it's going to give, you know, that gravies, that gratin gives it that taste.
When you do. Yeah.
When you give it that.
So this is my first time having this dish, and I'm 39 years old and grew up in Louisiana. But there's not a lot of times that I get to try something new, and so I'm really excited about tonight. And I'm excited to have somebody that's been cooking it all his life for me, because then I get to know the real deal of it. I mean, it really can't be bad. I love organ meats, and then you stuff that with good Cajun sausage, throw some onions and garlic and make a gravy. Whoo, bah. I'm ready for it.
Sauce and roll leaf, yo. We'll let it cook slow like that. It's gonna take a little while. My grandpa died when I was 5, but my daddy used to tell me all the time, you know how grandpa used to say, how you eat a gold? You cut it in half and eat both ends. That's gonna make the good gravy. Sauce and roll leaf, man. Kort up, yo. Oh, man. That's a money shot. Kort up, yo. That means, look at that, man. In French. Huh? Woo! Down. So we're gonna put this here for now. And look at here, that's that gravies they call. We'll put a little flour in there. I don't want to put too much. This will make me like a little roux to go with it. That's gonna make it gravy. I want to make it, I'm gonna put a little flour. I'm gonna make it, but I don't want to put it too thick. It's going to turn brown as it goes. Of course, y'all know all about that. See all that gravies right here? Oh. when that breaks loose. That's like putting salt on a watermelon. Now I'm fixing to put me a little bit of water in now. Now these Gogs got seasoning in them, so I'm not gonna season a whole lot. I might put just a little bit of salt. It's bubbling. I'm gonna put the lid on, let it cook low for about an hour. Then I'm gonna turn them Gogs over, put the lid back for another hour. You at the camp, after enough alcohol, and you're hungry, that's gonna be better than anything you eat in any restaurant. Huh?
Yep.
I'm gonna put that on low. Now that's gonna cook that inside. Woo, man. That'll make a rabbit hug a hound, partner. My Gogs been cooking about 2 hours. I think it's done. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stick that whole thing in the oven and I'm gonna broil it. It's gonna crust that skin, it's gonna darken that gravy. That's what I'm looking for. So now I think it's almost done. I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna cut that Gog up. And then put it back in that gravy. Good sauce, boy. Ooh, man.
It's a big sausage.
Huh?
That's a big old sausage.
That right there's what you call duck camp dinners.
That indeed is a duck camp dinner right there.
You be hunting in the buttonwood tomorrow, they'll hold you up. That's the final product, boys. We got 2 big Gogs, like I showed you, cooked, cut up, ready to serve. Mashed potatoes. We got a potato salad in the Frigidaire. Got some other peas. We're all just gonna be on rice. I don't see what else you can ask for a camp dinner. Over here in Big Falls Parish. Estamos here, Maud.
Eating this Gog with Mr. Dale and Mr. Johnny makes me think that there was a reason that I'd never eaten a Gog before tonight. It was like the universe for decades had intentionally shielded me away, knowing that the perfect time was right here at this camp with the folks around this dinner table. Tomorrow, we plan on being tucked into some button willows with old guns with bad intentions, knocking down a few birds for the pot.
You ever hunted with cypress root decoys?
No, sir.
I'm glad to share a little culture on your show.
We're almost at shooting light here. Got some wooden decoys out. I've already started seeing some birds flying. It is windy and the temperature's dropping as that front's pushing through. It's making for a good morning, especially for that kind of 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock flight, hopefully. So we got some time to wait out some smaller ducks, hopefully get them on the water, and then maybe get some bigger ducks later in the morning. Overall though, man, like the conditions are really coming together, especially considering we had that really bad storm coming through last night. But Mother Nature is finicky, so we'll see what happens. Green wings just buzzed us.
Huh?
Had some green wings just buzz us.
Man, let's get ready. Load, lock and load, bud. What time is it?
It's shooting time.
I figured that.
About 10 minutes in.
We gotta get what we can today.
Ooh, right here.
What?
Right here.
You ready?
Yep.
Get ready. We should have cut it.
Yeah.
We should have shot.
All right, they're gonna give us another look, I think.
They're coming back. Get ready.
Yep.
You want to shoot? Nope. I'm the one preaching about it. We didn't do it. They might come back. That's what we need right there. That's what we're gonna kill today.
I don't see him anymore.
Huh?
I don't see him anymore.
They gave us an opportunity. You could have hammered them right there.
Yeah.
My fault. We ain't gonna let that happen again, though.
Left side, right here. We're gonna circle back. It's about 8 in front of us. Green wings.
Well, they're gonna swing back. No, you can't shoot them behind us.
Oh, there they are. Right side, right here.
Good shot, Dad. Good shot. Y'all watch for the dead ones.
Did it dirty, Mr. Dale.
No, that's what we gotta do. This is an ambush spot right here. Watch in front. Watch the tails in front. Watch. Get ready. You wanna do it?
Nice shot. Nice shot.
108 years old.
That's a cool looking gun right there, boy.
That's an old son of a gun. Well, if we could get a good bunch to light, then we could hammer away. But I don't believe that's gonna happen today. What? Way to go, Big Daddy.
He dead. He dead. Right here. Right here. Let him circle. Yep, yep.
You ready?
Yep. Ah,
We got 3 out the bunch, Dad. Put that war chief on it, buddy.
that's right.
Huh?
That's a good shell right
You
there.
dang right.
I think you just threw a live one out.
I don't believe. No, I didn't do that.
Oh, 2 gray ducks.
You ready? C'est joli canon, vieux. I'm 62 years old. I still get like I was in my 20s, man. Still get the blood boiling. I hope I don't lose that.
Better not. I'm come looking for you.
We got a 2-man limit. I got me one with a band. Got a banded teal.
I had a feeling.
That's right, bro.
Man, I'm glad you don't like bands no more.
Come on now.
I consider Mr. Dale to be a Louisiana legend, so getting to hunt and spend camp with him was a bucket list weekend for me. We live in a society where we have been consumed by fast interactions and online relationships, but Dale Bordelon seems to live life at a different pace. This is a run and gun crew, so getting this time to slow down with Mr. Dale serves as a much needed reset as we close out our season.
Fellas, I enjoyed it. I really did a bunch.
Our next stop is set deep in the swamps of Cajun country. Near Simonsport in Avoyelles Parish, the Red River turns into the Atchafalaya River, which eventually dumps into the Gulf of Mexico in St. Mary's Parish 140 miles away. This stretch of swamp is commonly known as the Atchafalaya Basin and is America's largest river swamp. Just a few miles away is Lake Martin, which shares many of the ancient cypress swamps located in the Atchafalaya Basin. Along its shores is an 1840s Creole cottage owned by Madeline Sinnat and her husband, Walt Adams. I'm throwing a special duck camp dinner shindig at their bed and breakfast rightfully named Maison Madeleine. This cottage and its surrounding property is a perfect example of Louisiana life 150 years ago. And tonight, me and the crew are cooking for a good cause.
I'm Jordan Thibodeau. I'm from right here in Cypress Island, St. Martin Parish, Louisiana. My family's been here for 7 generations. We're in the heart of the swamp, heart of Cajun and Creole country. Most of our family is descendants of Acadie. They were exiled by the British in 1755. They came down here and mixed with native people, Africans, Spanish, and made us who we are today. So my band is Jordan Thibodeau et les Rodailleurs. We play all original music, and it's all very much rooted in the style and tradition of the old music that I was raised with. Old Louisiana music, old French music.
Mes petits cochons après manger dedans les pains, ils veulent chercher tous les glands et les grands pacas. Et mes petits cochons, ils sont pour grandir. Oh, mes petits cochons, ils mangeraient jour et nuit.
We have 2 different Frenches, 2 different languages that are historically spoken in this area. We have what's called Louisiana French, Cajun French, and we also have Coudivni, which is Louisiana Creole. So Louisiana French is basically 16th to early 17th century French. France had many dialects of French in those days. Different French was spoken all throughout France. Our people left France beginning of the 1600s, went to Canada, gradually came here. And later on, I believe it was Louis, took and passed a law in France. This is the official language of France now. They picked one of their versions of French, one of their dialects, and said, this is the official French now. Don't speak the other crap, right? Well, we'd already been gone by this point. We'd already been gone for 150 years. So theoretically, like on a basis, it's almost like speaking Old English compared to speaking English. Like you're speaking a very old way. But then along the way, we also, like everything else, have a mix of other things. We've got a lot of random native words in our French that have been added along the way, especially things to do with nature. You know, there's a lot of raccoons in this area. That's a chaouis. You go say chaouis in France, nobody has any idea what you're talking about. That's because it's a Choctaw word, you know? Same with the patassa and choupik, the fish and choupik. There's random African words like gumbo and all this. But overall, 90% of it is mutually comprehensible. It's just there are certain words. I always explain it as if you've ever spoken to someone from like the Highlands of Scotland, how you just kind of stare at them out the whole time they're talking. You both speak in English, but neither one of you understand each other real good, you know? It's about like that when you're speaking to somebody from France.
Et mon vieux cochon, tu connais, ça fait malheur. Oui, mais t'as mangé quelque chose que j'ai eu. Oh, mes petits cochons, non, j'ai plus de maïs. Au roi, mes cochons, va faire une boucherie.
To me, it's like, it's imperative to know your family's language. It's imperative. There was nowhere I'd go as a kid. No grocery store, no family gathering, no friends, no anything that French wasn't being spoken. Nowhere. And there's so many young people that don't look at that and they don't consider it. They feel like it's easy to overlook. We don't need that today, whatever, right? But if you met some guy from, I don't know, Saudi Arabia, and you said, oh, you speak Arabic? Oh, no, I don't speak Arabic. I thought you said you're Saudi Arabian. Oh, I am. You don't speak Arabic? Well, no. You see how there's just that instinctive degree of separation? And to me, it's like, how can our own people not see this and want to maintain that identity of who they are?
Et mon vivera, il a piqué tous les troués. Astère, il y a trop plus qu'après manger du maïs. Oh, mon vivera, car quoi tu m'as fait? Oui, mon vivera, mes poches sont blessées.
My goal personally, I think, as far as all of this goes, as far as anything to do with music, as far as anything to do with culture, with food, with any of that, mine has been, it don't die with me. That's honestly it. If it doesn't die with me, I did my job. That's it, you know? Because it is one of these big things. People come to me and they look at it as this positive and they try and present it to me as a positive, like, yeah, man, you're one of the last young people, you know, there's a very small number of young people still speaking Cajun French and this and that, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that is horrible. Like, that is, I don't want to hear that. My goal, honestly, is that one day somebody would walk up to me and be like, oh, this is who you are? This is everything about you? Cool, why does that matter? Because the next 500 people down the street are all the exact same. That's my goal. I just want to blend in with my community the same way my grandpa blended in with his community. The same way, you know? I don't know, I've said it a million times. You either live your culture or you kill your culture, and there's no in between. So my objective is to live mine every day. And if I do that, if I do it well enough, it don't die with me. Every day that my kids come home, every time they come up and ask me something in French, sing a little song, they cook something, they say something weird or don't know whatever, you know, like, those are the things that make me feel like I did something.
Et mes vieux cochons, tu connais, ça fait malheur. Oui, mais t'as mangé quelque chose que j'ai eu. Oh, mes petits cochons, non, j'ai plus de maïs. Au roi, mes cochons, va faire une boucherie.
All right, so Jay Jr. and I have been up since about 7 cooking, but we got a whole list of things on the menu, way too many to even kind of call out right now. So we just slowly dial in our menu for tonight at Maison Madeleine. It should be an epic night. The food is already smelling good. It's looking good, and we still got a couple more hours to fine tune it. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody in here, getting to shake people's hand, and just saying a big thank you to all those folks that have supported Duck Can Dinners throughout the years. It's my joy to be able to cook for these folks and kind of give back to the community here in Breaux Bridge.
The menu tonight has been sourced from this year's hunting season. I thought it'd be important to give these folks who have supported the show a taste of how and what we cook at camp.
Oh, it's good. It's cooking down, though, huh? You had me worried that we're gonna overflow this thing. We ain't overflowing this thing.
Well, I mean, we've been letting it reduce down for 47 hours.
Sauce pecan with alligator harvested in episode 1, made into bouillettes, stewed down with pickled quail eggs and olives, and served over buttered fusilli pasta. Give me a beer. Cider braised wild hog and onions alongside honey roasted turnips pulled from Mr. Dale's garden. Mallard smoked sausage made by Bourgeois Meat Market. Dad's duck dinner of Arkansas mallards with roasted apples, bourbon brown butter sauce, and a side of biscuits. Cousin Kane's white chocolate croissant bread pudding with a buttered rum sauce.
All right, so we're about to get started. We're about to start serving preparing the first dish. We set out our meat and cheese tray, 5:30 right on the dot. People about to start showing up, about to get hectic.
That's a spread, boy. That's a spread.
Chef,
Wait.
Josh drove in from Galveston tonight. He's all excited about
Hey, Josh. Jean Paul. Nice to meet you, man.
How are you?
All right, while your next course is coming down, I just want to bring up a couple things, a couple housekeeping things. So y'all paid a lot of good money to come to this dinner, and I want to thank y'all for that. It goes a long way, and if you don't know by now, you might have seen these wood duck boxes hanging out around outside. Who saw those? All right, so all the profits from this dinner will go to be making wood duck boxes from a guy out of Eunice that makes them. We're going to put up wood duck boxes in coordination with Delta Waterfowl all over the state of Louisiana. Now, with what y'all have done and other proceeds, we're able to make around 150 wood duck boxes. Now, for those who aren't familiar, wood ducks are one of Louisiana's only nesting ducks, along with am I right? Along with mergansers and
some marsh mallards
yeah.
and things like that, but majority wood ducks, yeah.
So Scott's here as representation for Delta Waterfowl. Yeah. Thank you, Scott, for showing me around, shooting some wood ducks and teal in the timber. Yeah. But they're doing great work all across North America, and their line, right, their thing and email signatures is putting more ducks over the decoys, right? And that's a great thing in the hen houses in the Dakotas and the prairies and so on. But I thought we owed it to the state of Louisiana and the wildlife that we hunt to better put more ducks over the decoys here in Louisiana with the boxes that we're gonna better put up. So I just wanna thank y'all for spending y'all money with us. Nobody makes anything off of this except the wildlife, except the waterfowl. And so I appreciate it, appreciate that. Thank you, and thank you, Delta Waterfowl. Thank you.
It truly was an incredible night at Maison Madeleine, and grateful for the opportunity doesn't even begin to explain how full my heart is. That said, it's the day I've been waiting for and dreading at the same time. Duck season is soon to close, and so is this season of duck camp dinners. We have one more camp to visit, and it's the place I want to be. We're heading back to Bayou Black to close out this season and get one last hurrah in Hoboville. On our way back to Bayou Black, we're making a stop at ConocoPhillips' Coastal Wetlands office, just down the road from Bob's Marina. If you watched previous seasons of Duck Camp Dinners, then you'll be familiar with the importance of the preservation and restoration of Louisiana's coastal lands. ConocoPhillips works in partnership with Ducks Unlimited's regional office in Louisiana to find other solutions for coastal restorations. Over the last 12 years, the two organizations have worked to rehabilitate over 25,000 acres of habitat in the region of southeast Louisiana. In fact, the project we have been invited to tour today is a buffer zone directly south of the floating camp in Gibson and acts as a first line of defense from weather events such as hurricanes.
This main office is strategically focused on conservation and partnerships with DU and so on. Like, I mean, obviously there's no oil and gas.
Yeah, in the early 2010s, we sold off all our operating wells. So ConocoPhillips, LLE, we don't operate any oil and gas wells in the state anymore. We just manage the property we own. And like any good landowner, you know, if you owned a bunch of property, what would you do to manage it? And so, you know, we really care about stewardship and conservation. Obviously, the work with Ducks Unlimited's, you know, exactly that type of stuff. Us, you know, having the ownership of the land and some land expertise, and obviously those guys with planning and implementation of building, you know, terraces and all those types of structures. Really works out great.
It's been outstanding.
Yeah.
25,000 acres of enhanced marsh in this area in about
25,000.
Yeah, in about a 10-year period. I think we did, 60 miles of terraces just through this partnership. So really true collaboration, pairing the right folks together.
And this is where we'll be going.
Correct. It's really, I mean, a great illustration of when we look at the camps, the culture that helps foster, and then you see how working with DU, filling in the gaps with terraces to kind of reestablish this a bit. It's a strong image when you see how that directly backs up and supports that. It's we're quite proud of that one.
I feel like we'll talk about this when we're on site, but is the idea for like growth to come from this as well? Could it?
I mean, it's a possibility, but you probably need more of a sediment source, a more sediment flowing through it than we probably have in this area. But the biggest piece of this is kind of a stabilization effort where long ago, 50 years ago, this was pretty solid marsh, pretty decent marsh to water ratio, converted mostly to open water. Building these terraces, it diversifies the habitat, but also stabilizes the loss. It takes that 700, 800 acres of open water, breaks it up.
Yeah.
You get better water quality within those terraces. You could get more aquatic vegetation. You get marsh on the islands that we built through the terrace. But it keeps that cancer from growing where, you know, 800 acres turns into 1,000 acres open water because you have so much open water area. And when the wind blows, you got erosion.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to see how, you know, I think there was a bit of planting along the toes of these, but how it naturally recruited with vegetation. When you get in there, you know it's successful when it's hard to tell what you're looking at as far as what's been constructed versus what's naturally there. That's always a good performance indicator.
Yeah, it's really tremendous. You know, you look at aerial photos or Google Earth, it looks kind of alien. And when you get out there, you ask yourself, where's the terrace project, or where's the real stuff? So pretty cool.
All right, I'm gonna take a boat ride. Oh Lord, here we go. Gotta think about this. Gotta think about it here. No.
Just like a jacket. Put one arm through there and one arm through there.
Yeah, well that's.
So we're right on the edge of the field. We coming down here, we're gonna turn in right here.
And what's neat to point out is these terraces have only been here in place for like one full growing season.
Yeah.
Look how overgrown they are and vegetated with all kinds of stuff, you know?
Yeah, the habitat it's provided, the protection it's provided it's such a quick turnaround after construction.
And the thing the terraces do, so a day like today with the wind blowing as hard as it is, it would suspend organic matter and mineral content in the water, making it turbid. But because the terraces are here, it keeps that down, which helps your submerged aquatic vegetation grow. Simply building the terraces gives it an opportunity to grow.
In an area with big open water, you have whitecaps out in here if you didn't have terraces. You know, when the wind's blowing like it is today.
These habitats are vital for fish and wildlife, but also help to preserve Louisiana's cultural history and the American outdoors. The teams at ConocoPhillips and Ducks Unlimited have pushed this work forward for over a decade, which inspires me and hopefully others to do more for our Louisiana coastal wetlands.
Ben, I like your hat. You don't think that's gonna scare the ducks?
Oh, my rice picking hat?
Yeah, you need to paint that. Yeah, dude. Bro, that might actually work. Boy, brush that up.
It does block the sun really well.
I think we should make them. Brush that up.
I ain't gonna get hit by lightning.
All right, we'll make it out of plastic.
All right, so we raised a bunch of money to build these wood duck boxes. Now we got 4 boxes we want to put out on the lease. We're gonna put 2 directly on the lease and then 2 right in this camp canal right here. We believe there's a lot of wood ducks in this area, and just giving them more nesting grounds to build a better habitat, better hunting, means more ducks on the water here at the floating camp.
I was thinking straight ahead in between all those stumps.
No. We want it
kind of in there.
We want to kind of keep it away from trees.
Make that hurricane proof, bro.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right. Now that we did some goodness, let's go do some sinning. Oh.
Ooh. Nothing works up an appetite like some good conservation. And with that said, it's time to get cooking. This past weekend, Junior got on a mess of marsh rabbits, and tonight for dinner, Jay is stewing up some of those rabbits with fresh turnips.
We're gonna fry up some rabbit, throw in the turnips, season this flour here with some slappy mama, white pepper. We're gonna dredge the rabbit in that and fry it up.
This is more like a 35 to 27 Super Bowl.
As the temperatures drop and Jay gets cooking, my plan is to make an oyster chowder to enjoy tonight and in the duck blind tomorrow morning.
Typically you would use bacon, but I have some hog sausage, potatoes, leeks, celery in there as well. Gonna be a little appetizer to Jay's rabbit. Since it's getting cold, good hot soup would go a long way.
What happened to us, guys? We're getting old, huh? We matured, man. Back in the day, we used to get drunk.
You said matured or matured?
Yeah, well, depends on if you're French or not. So now that our onions are good and cooked, 2 cans of Rotel.
I got my leeks, got my celery, got the sausage in there. It's time to put the stock. Just making your own homemade, especially fish stock in this case, go a long way with making a good soup. That soup's just about done. Potatoes are nice and soft, but it needs another 15 minutes of simmering to get those oysters nice and cooked. First course is almost done.
8:30, first course is almost done.
All right, the oyster chowder is done. The oysters have cooked. Potatoes are soft. I like to get me some solids, if you will, in there. Look at them. Look at them beautiful Louisiana oysters right there. Just opened up, perfectly cooked in that soup. Add a little bit more broth on top. Now remember, this is mostly fish fumet with a little bit of half and half added in. I like to finish that with a little scallions, some Parmesan cheese, nice low coating, and a little bit of that beautiful Meyer lemon from central Louisiana to finish that off. Cool, look at them oysters right there. I mean, look at that. Boy, tell me that ain't cooked good right there.
All right, guys, so the rabbits have been smothering down for about 2 hours. Been slowly stirring them. We're gonna go ahead and add these turnips in that we freshly cut. These are gonna thicken up the sauce here. Got a big day in the morning. Go shoot some big old ducks. It's a big old wind and a big old cold front. So, hey, let's get to eating. All of us.
Every one of us.
He's eating out the pot.
Can't take him nowhere.
I gotta try it.
How many times?
With full stomachs, we all turn our attention to the cold front rolling through, hoping that we get one last push of ducks for the season. It's time to hunker down and prep our gear for the coldest and last hunt of this season of Duck Camp Dinners. This morning, Jay, Juice, Sean, and I are set up at a spot on the lease where we believe we can put together a great hunt. We're still on the tail end of this front pushing through, giving us the ideal 10 to 15 mile per hour wind, which hopefully will result in birds looking to commit into our decoys.
All right, so it's just about shooting time. In fact, we're hitting some shots in the distance. We got about 15 dozen decoys set up, 4 hunters, and a good cover, good hide. Ducks are already starting to come in, so it's time to get serious and load up.
Right behind us, dude. Big flocks. In the decoys. Canvas back, see him? Just flew out.
Really?
Yep. Got one.
You serious? I don't see nothing.
Got one what?
Got one? Ready to go home? Are we done? Right there in the decoy. You straight back, right behind us. Hovering on top.
Yep. Hovering in the wind, huh?
That's exactly what we want to do to that. Look at these 3 coming in. Y'all see them? Yep. Right at us.
Damn.
Good shooting, boys.
He done.
Those did what we wanted them to do.
Stupids.
Just like we planned.
Big splash.
Coming right at you, Juice, in the decoy.
Low on the water.
Low on the water.
Wait until I get half my masa down.
A goose. That's a geese right there.
Yep.
No goose.
Where the duck went on just shot?
Jesse, your side.
Ow. God damn.
Ow.
He living, huh?
Right out front.
Damn, bro.
Oh.
You get off-season blues?
Oh, no doubt. All-season blues are real. It already hit me today. It's gonna hit me again when I back in my boat for the last time today. It's gonna hit me when I take off my blind. It's gonna hit me when I picking up all my stuff. You know, it's like, man, I'm not using this for another year. It sucks.
It's hard on the last, and as you know, it's done. You know, other than the sign off, I'm done.
Well.
Yep.
Okay, there, season 3, boys. Get you a beer. Let's cheers. So, what are we doing next year?
The north wind blows through the state, causing the willow trees to dance in the bayou as the night rushes through their scattered vegetation. The trees sway and whisper secrets to the hunters who are preparing to call their duck camps home for the season. Ducks are migrating and trickling into the Louisiana marshes, and the people of this state are once again drawn to these camps, spellbound, as if Marie Laveau were calling the shots. Our spirits transitioned from the chewy, humid summer to the short-lived cool fronts, fixating our eyes on the new season ahead. The air is filled with it. The smells of roux cooking, rhythms of swamp pop and Cajun music, whistling wings at chewing time. Louisiana has a secret to tell you. Can you hear it?
If it don't